Welcome to the 2020 WeAllCount volunteer training. We are excited to conduct our second engaged point-in-time count in the San Diego region and hope that this training gets you excited to learn more about our neighbors experiencing homelessness. Let's start off by introducing ourselves. My name is Jenna Marie Glenna.
And my name is Abria Ponce, and we are your 2020 WeAllCount coordinators.
Please contact us if you have any questions about the point-in-time count or the volunteering experience. If you have questions about the material presented, feel free to reach out via email or phone. Here is an agenda of what will be discussed during this training. Please take a second to review. We will begin by briefly reviewing the data from the previous count.
Here on this slide, you will see that the minimum count for the total homeless is 8,102 for the 2019 point-in-time count.
This map breaks down the total homeless by region. As you can see, Central San Diego is home to the largest share with 62.7%. East County is the next highest with 13%. Next, we will provide an overview of what the WeAllCount is and what we are aiming to accomplish.
Point-in-time counts are a 3-day unduplicated count of sheltered and unsheltered homeless individuals and families across the United States that occurs at the end of January. In San Diego, we branded the WeAllCount, and it provides us with a snapshot of who is homeless on a given night across the nation each year. Conducting the WeAllCount also makes our region eligible to receive federal funding from HUD. The WeAllCount this year is going to be a 3-day event starting on Thursday, January 23rd, 2020 from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m.
The WeAllCount consists of several key components. The unsheltered enumeration and surveying is the largest piece of this event and is likely what you are participating in this training for. Again, this year, we will be conducting surveys within homeless shelters across San Diego County. Limited volunteer opportunities for this are listed in our Counting Us app. We also take a stock of our housing inventory and account for how many sheltered homeless there are. The youth count and incarcerated surveying are also crucial components that we will partner with outside agencies to accomplish.
Addressing, alleviating, and preventing homelessness requires a clear understanding of our homeless population and their particular circumstances. Only by knowing who, where, and how many people are experiencing homelessness can we plan and identify the resources needed to best serve them. Answers to these questions provide the basis for developing sustainable solutions.
This infographic shows how the data collected leads to funding. The data collected from this event is compiled and sent in a report to HUD. HUD then allocates funds to regions depending on their point-in-time count totals. Then funds are then dispersed to homeless service providers.
HUD has provided guidance to San Diego, and we will continue to count people during the WeAllCount instead of vehicles and hand-built structures as we did historically. To comply with this, we will be surveying people as we encounter them. Engaged count volunteers are tasked with enumerating and surveying individuals that are unsheltered the night of the count by walking the streets, parks, transit stations, and other places not meant for human habitation. You and your team will be assigned a group leader that is a part of a homeless outreach team and a census tract area to cover by car or foot to engage the homeless. Don't worry about not knowing the census tracts. They will be provided to you the day of the count to help guide you.
Depending on which deployment site you signed up to volunteer at will depend on the census tract for that site. The census tract will assist you in where you will look for unsheltered individuals. Depending on the tract, you may be walking around and engaging people as you find them, or driving the census tract and completing either an unsheltered observational tally or an engaged survey within the Counting Us app. We will provide more information on what an engaged survey is versus an observational tally later on in the presentation.
Next, we will discuss the logistics of volunteering and what is expected.
Site coordinators will assign teams of 3 or 4 people along with their 1 professional outreach worker per group. There are several roles you can do as a volunteer. The goal is to administer a survey to any person you encounter that is experiencing homelessness. Some of these roles include a map reader to guide the group through the Census Tract, an interviewer that enters survey responses into the Counting Us app, someone to handle and distribute gift cards along with socks, and someone to drive the Census Tract.
We ask that you arrive to your WeAllCount site 30 minutes prior to the count start time. For most of you, that will be 3:30 a.m. You will retrieve the needed supplies and please be sure that your phone is charged. During your shift, you will look for unsheltered individuals in your census tract and conduct interviews as a team. At the end of your shift, please be sure to return all materials to your site coordinator. Upon arrival, please be sure to sign in. You will be placed with your team and each group will receive the following: a flashlight, safety vest, gift cards, and socks with 2-on-1 pocket guides enclosed. Your team will then go out together to look for unsheltered individuals in your census tract and conduct interviews in the Counting Us app as a team. Again, once you have completed your census tract, return to your site coordinator and return all materials.
Surveyors led by an outreach worker will walk or drive in groups around their assigned census tract and look for any unsheltered individuals. Once you encounter anyone who is unsheltered, you will then use the Counting Us app to complete an unsheltered homeless survey. Please note, the map will no longer serve as a tally sheet since you're using the Counting Us app. When completing a survey within the app, a pin will drop to show the location. Only interview homeless individuals that you encounter inside your assigned census tract boundaries.
The Unsheltered Homeless Survey is similarly structured to previous years. However, it has now been shortened to account for the greater volume of people we will be surveying. If someone is unwilling or unable to complete a survey, then volunteers will complete a 1-page observational survey tally. This survey will then serve as the official count for the unsheltered individuals.
Unsheltered observation tallies are only to be completed when an unsheltered homeless survey cannot be completed, or if someone is unwilling to complete a survey. Unsheltered observation tallies are a brief survey that volunteers complete based on an immediate, obvious visual information on unsheltered individuals. These will serve as the official count tallies for all unsheltered individuals during the WeAllCount who do not complete an unsheltered homeless survey. It is critical that this is completed within the Counting Us app anytime you encounter someone who is unsheltered and unwilling or unable to complete a survey.
Because the count is happening early in the morning, it is likely that many of you will be surveying, will be asleep. Regional efforts will be made to alert the homeless population that the count will be occurring. When waking someone up, please be polite and courteous. A nice way to start a survey like this is to introduce yourselves and ask for their names.
When waking someone up, politely approach and greet the individual or group. Observe if you are engaging an individual or a household and press the button in the Counting Us app as to which one. If the individual agrees to be interviewed, click Next Step. Then continue on to question 1. Note, if they ask if they will get anything for it, tell them about the incentives. Otherwise, wait to see if they qualify for the survey.
It is our expectation that all volunteers will be polite and non-aggressive during the WeAllCount. Please remember that many homeless people often feel isolated and there is a real stigma against those who are homeless. The golden rule will prevail here. Treat them as you would like to be treated. If you are participating in this count, we hope that your interest in ending homelessness will translate into being respectful and compassionate of those you encounter.
If you are asked about who you are and what this is about, respond accordingly. We are a part of a national project to count people whom are experiencing homelessness. Your safety is our highest priority. Look for any potential dangers before proceeding into unknown areas. Common sense should prevail here. If there is ever a serious risk of danger, please call 911 immediately.
You are not required to report any illicit activities unless they are endangering themselves or another person. Our goal here is not to build distrust with the community or criminalize the homeless. As mentioned, please be respectful. Please do not share personal information about participants with anyone. Emphasize to the participants that information will only be shared with the Regional Task Force on the Homeless. Be aware of your tones, body language, or how you can be perceived. It is our goal to make sure folks are comfortable while being surveyed. Because of this, it is crucial that you are calm and non-judgmental as participants share personal information.
If a participant becomes distressed, do not pressure them to answer and move to the next question. It is okay to redirect the conversation if participants give longer answers. Please make sure you are dressed comfortably and have a fully charged phone. It is critical that when conducting the count, we are surveying homeless people and not the number of vehicles. If you come across a vehicle or RV you suspect someone is living in based on the conditions of the vehicle, please attempt to survey them the way you would someone who is living on the streets. If they are unwilling to interview or no one is responding from within the vehicle, please fill out an unsheltered observation tally to the best of your ability. This survey will have a space to include the vehicle's license plate number and if it is a car or RV. There is also a note box to enter further details. Thankfully, the Counting Us app drops the PIN. Homeless outreach workers will follow up and attempt to engage the vehicle or RV.
Here are a few examples of the vehicles that we want to engage. The vehicles on the left have visible markers of someone living in them, such as having many possessions within the vehicle and objects that have obstructing the windows for privacy. Vehicles that are visibly empty, slightly older models, or RVs in residential neighborhoods that are in someone's driveway should not be counted unless engaged. If an RV is in someone's property, please do not engage the vehicle. When speaking to someone living in an RV, you will need to ask a few questions to clarify if they are homeless and in need of services. If someone sleeping in a vehicle does not want to complete a survey, then an unsheltered observational tally should be completed within the Counting Us app, so follow-up can be completed by outreach.
When recording answers, please record the exact answer provided. Do not probe for answers to questions. However, feel free to provide examples or clarify if there is confusion. Interpreting includes providing an example or slightly rewording, but do not lead them to an answer. An example, do you have a physical disability like vision impairment? That is okay. You have a physical disability, right? That is not okay. Only do this if you are comfortable doing so and capable of doing it in a sensitive manner. It is critical that no questions are left blank. If applicable, mark client doesn't know and just move on.
To make the flow of the survey more seamless based on feedback, you will ask personal information regarding their full name, date of birth, and social security number. However, do not push for this information. If individuals are not comfortable providing identifying information, partial social security numbers and initials are helpful to catch if duplicate surveys are conducted. Participants can supply info on household members if that member is not present. Each household member present would get a gift card.
The count typically ends at 8 a.m. So even if you have not covered all areas, you will need to stop counting at 8 a.m. and return to your deployment site. However, there are certain rural areas that will count later in the morning. When you return to your deployment site, please hand in all materials. Also, please be sure to check the Counting Us app to make sure all surveys were submitted. Remember to arrive 30 minutes prior to your site start time on January 23rd, 2020 with a fully charged phone. All of the materials shown in this presentation are available on rtfhsd.org under the WeAllCount tab at the top. If you have any questions about anything presented, reach out to Jenna Marie or Bria at the info shown here.
If you have any questions about the WeAllCount, this training, or anything else, please do not hesitate to get in contact with us. Volunteers are what make this effort possible, and your time is truly valued and appreciated. Thank you for your time and support of the WeAllCount. When a community cares, all kinds of things are possible. We wouldn't be able to do it without you.